As we continue with this discussion, as we continue also monitoring what is happening in Sudan, we just want to borrow from the Arab Spring that seems to be rejuvenated in December 17th, 2010. Just borrowing from that, it all started when a Tunisian fruit seller, Mohamed Bouzizi, set himself on fire outside a local government office in protest after being arrested by police for not having a permit to run a vegetable stall. Fast forward to January 14th, 2011. After that happened, protests started and more people seemed to be informed about the state of affairs and how the country was run. The Tunisian President Zine El Abidine abdicated his position and fled to Saudi Arabia. That was the start of the quote-unquote Arab Spring. Over to Cairo, still in 2011, this time the 25th of January, the first coordinated mass protest were held in the Tahrir Square in Cairo, Egypt, of course, trying to push out President Hosni Mubarak, who was in power at that particular time. Protesters in several predominantly Muslim countries staged days of rage to oppose the authoritarian governments and push for democratic reforms. Finally, in February 11th, President Hosni Mubarak of Egypt stepped down and he faced charges of killing unarmed protesters, and the protest still continued in the Tahrir Square. May 22nd, 2011, in Morocco, police beat thousands of pro-democracy protesters. Over to July, the Moroccan voters approved the constitutional changes that limited the power of the country's monarchy. Protesters defied a ban on countrywide demonstrations, leading to arrest and dozens of injuries. Over to Libya, still in 2011, we well know what happened. Rebels in Libya launched an offensive to take control of the capital, Tripoli, and it spiraled into civil war between the opposition forces and those allied to the then leader Muammar Gaddafi. On the 23rd of August, Tripoli was captured and the government was overthrown. Quite interesting facts there. Okay, now you see why we seem to borrow from the Arab Spring, and I'll let you give your insights into this. Do you think it's favorable to compare what is happening in Sudan, your mother country, to the Arab Spring and what it was able to achieve?
Well, revolution has got no land, has got no country, has got no nation, has got no religion, has got no culture. The culture of revolution, it's a human culture. What I can call now, what's happening in Sudan now, it's Sudan summer. Sudan summer. As we don't have spring in Sudan, we call it the Sudan summer.
Okay.
And let me call it the African summer. This is the beginning of a change, real change, not superstructure change in Sudan. It's a deep change. We have seen it in the culture, how the people now of Sudan are behaving, how the revolutionary people are accommodating each other, how they are sharing the medicine, they're sharing the food, they're sharing the water, they're sharing many things. If you go now to the Al-Midan, which means the platform, the square which is in front of the military barracks in Khartoum, you will see new life, real new life. People are chatting, people are discussing the future of Sudan.
Okay.
So it is not an easy thing to say. There will be real change in Sudan. Definitely, if there is any chaos or collapse or whatever, al-Bashir is responsible on that.
Okay.
And will be held responsible on that.
Okay. Allow me to include John in this particular conversation. On one side, you alluded to the fact that the military right now holds the cards, and the main aim of this was a civil transition, to a democratically elected government. With the main aim being the economic downfall in Sudan, quote unquote, bread prices going up, maybe that of oil as well. Do you think this will solve the particular problem at hand? And who exactly is pushing Omar al-Bashir under the bus? Because you mentioned that.
Yeah, Rogers, I would say this. due to a culmination and a combination of many factors. First and foremost, of course, is the economic crisis that is afflicting the whole of Sudan, and the rapid fall of standards of living. Life has been very difficult for the ordinary Sudanese, wherever they are, regardless of their political affiliation. So the first thing is that Bashir did, and his leadership and his whoever they were, they messed up the economic revival of South Sudan. So that's one. So there is consensus right across that the economic situation in South Sudan has really fallen on hard times, and the ordinary people, regardless of their political affiliation, are feeling the pinch. And as you perhaps pointed out, remember that the trigger was the bread price rise that triggered this. Yes. But this was just a trigger in itself. But then there are the political structure, the old political structures in Sudan, and they've always been in existence. Who are these? This is the DUP of Mirgani. Then we have the Mahdi of he has his own political affiliation. Then we have the Sudanese Communist Party, and we have a lot of this, political players that did exercise a lot of power. But then there is a growth of an independent group that feels both the old political systems and both the military and the political systems did not serve them right. And that's now that's where now we are having now the Sudanese professional alliance.
Yes.
However, the guys and the people who call the shot, at least for now, is the security apparatus led by the military. Can and will the military allow then a peaceful transfer of power to what perhaps my colleague Faisal is alluding to, or would they rather that control this? And that we have the case now in Egypt that happened fairly well.
Yes.
Then we have the case, and I think in Algeria also, that the military superstructure felt uneasy. Now, when I use the phrase...
As we conclude, kindly.
Yes. As I use the phrase of throwing Bashir under the bus, I'm saying is that within the political establishment, Bashir has become a liability. So as kind of an appeasement, you will try and throw him to take up or carry his cross, so to speak. Now, will they figure out how well to manage and perhaps be in charge? They are very scared of this going out of hand, and they have no control.
Okay, allow me to cut you short right there, John Gashie, foreign policy and media consultant. Many thanks. I'll allow you to give very briefly your final statements in regards to what's going on.
My final statement is that Sudan is at crossroad. Sudan is under fire. Sudan is under a revolution situation, ongoing revolution.
Okay.
Either the military now, after they made the announcement, they negotiate with the leadership of the revolution, that is the Sudanese Professional Association, and the Freedom and Change Force for a civilian government, transitional government, or if they decide to make another coup d'etat, I'm sure the people of Sudan will continue the struggle.
Exactly.
And will continue the revolution.
Thank you.
And it's ongoing revolution.
Okay,
up
Faisal,
to the people of Sudan.
Faisal al-Bashir, many thanks, Sudanese journalists. So much to talk about. John Gashie as well. We haven't completely traversed this particular conversation, but with the development still going on, we'll definitely get more time. So many thanks, gentlemen, for making time for Bottom Line Africa.
Thanks to the people of Sudan who gave us this opportunity to speak on their behalf.
Okay, many thanks, gentlemen. All right, let's